Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is a solo hot tent overnighter in the snowy winter forest. So this is fresh snowfall from last night, and I was itching to get out here. Very, very excited to be out in some fresh snow. So to bring you guys up to speed, I've got all my cooking gear up here. I've still got my sleeping bag down here, but my backpack is almost empty. I've got my wax canvas rolled down here, some coffee stuff, some cutlery, my food, gloves, and saw. All that stuff still in here, but I've already set up the tent, the sleeping pad, and the wood stove. So I'm going to try and get all this squared away really quick because there is some snow falling from the trees, and I don't want any of this stuff to get covered and wet, especially my sleeping bag. So I'm going to continue setting up, and then it's going to be time to go collect some firewood. Okay, camp is looking pretty good and inviting. I am very excited to crawl in there tonight with this wood stove cranked up and have a nice lounging area just to relax in. But for now, like I said, everything looks like it's squared away and right where I want it. I've got my wax canvas sheet pushed off to one side of the tent. That way I can kneel down just like I am right now. And I'll be able to stack all my firewood on top of it. And this doorway will close, giving me a nice roofed area. I don't have to worry about any falling snow falling on top of it. So with that squared away, I am in a pine and spruce forest, and I do need quite a bit of firewood to get this going. I'm going to be cooking my food on top of the wood stove. I'm not going to be doing an outside fire pit, so I'm going to need a fair bit of wood to burn. But like I said, I'm in a softwood forest, and I'm running a very short pipe, and I don't want to have any embers land on top of the tent and burn holes in it. So I'm going to have to be very diligent in what I do and how I load the wood and not poke and not stir the coals just to make sure no embers land on top of the tent. So I got the saw right here. Let's go get some firewood, guys. All right, guys, now we are camping. It is coffee break time. I've got a fair bit of work done around camp. All this wood cut and split. The stove is actually rocking out quite a bit of heat. Even with both doors wide open, I can still feel the heat rolling inside of the tent, which is going to be very, very nice this evening. So I got a very large cup of hot coffee, and I want to enjoy it because the temperature is coming down. It is now -2 degrees Celsius. So this is probably one of the most dangerous parts of winter camping, or the dangerous times of winter camping, in my opinion. And I've mentioned it in previous videos. When you get around to that +1, +2 to -1 to -2 degrees Celsius temperatures, that's when a lot of people end up with hypothermia because they think it's warm during the day. Like right now, I'm just wearing a sweater, and they don't pack for winter. And then you get out here and everything's wet. My boots are soaked right now, but I've got the wood stove. I'm drying out my gloves right now, so I could dry all my clothing out. But if you were out here without a hot tent set up, or let's say something happened and all the wood was wet and you just couldn't get a fire going, you could end up in serious trouble just with that fluctuation between warm temps and then down to freezing. So -20, -30 is actually more enjoyable and a lot easier, in my personal opinion, to go camping in, because at least it's cold and dry. Right now it's cold and it's wet and it's starting to freeze again, so I'm going to be totally fine though. That's why I always bring a winter rated sleeping pad and a winter rated sleeping bag, because I never burn the wood stove overnight. I never rely on it for heat. 2 reasons. 1, it's a headache just to feed all night long, and 2, when I want to go to sleep, I want to go to sleep. So I don't worry about loading the stove. I crawl inside of my sleeping bag, zip it up, and I go to sleep, and I'm totally comfortable all night long. Get up in the morning, relight the stove again. It's nice having it for cooking, ambience, and drying out all your wet gear. So there's more uses to a stove than just staying warm. But right now, this coffee is definitely nice and enjoyable. Still rolling steam, so we know we got good temp on it. I'm going to chill out for a few moments, enjoy my coffee, and then I think I'm going to start on supper shortly after that, because it is getting late in the day. It is getting dark. I'm not sure of the time, but I know it's going to be creeping up on about 4 p.m. So I'm going to finish this coffee and then start on supper, guys. All right, well, while supper's cooking away up on the stove, I decided to come down here and have a look at this lake. It's actually frozen enough to stand on top of, which is pretty awesome. I never even clued into that because, I mean, I could have brought a tent and slept out on the ice had I have known that, but with the temperatures being so warm, it's probably not safe to do right now anyways. We'll wait for later on in wintertime when the temps really come down, and then I can venture out on the ice, but this is a pretty awesome landscape right now. We just had some geese fly over, kind of hear them off in the distance, but this is definitely awesome. I mean, listen to how silent this is. Absolutely deafening silent out here, just the way I like it. So, like I said, just wanted to come down here briefly, take a look at the lake. I do have to come down here later on. I was going to get water out of the ice, but I don't want to go breaking the ice if it's nice enough to stand on. So I think maybe this trip I might actually have to melt snow into water. I don't usually like doing that when I'm in a hurry because it takes a long time to melt snow to turn into water and then boil. It's faster if you can just get a source of water to boil, but I guess on this trip where the snow is fresh, we'll just melt some snow and make some water later on, and in the morning for oatmeal as well. So pretty awesome view. Back up to the tent where it's nice and warm now. All right, well, this steak smells incredible. So what I put on it for spice was black peppercorn, pink sea salt, and garlic powder, which is what I put on steaks all the time. The reason I'm mentioning that is the last video, probably a couple weeks ago now, that I uploaded, and I cooked steak in a tent on a stove. One, the video blew up. It got 12 million views in just 12 days, which is incredible. So thank you everybody for watching. But there were a lot of strange comments as to what I put on my steak. So those are the 3 spices that I put on, and it makes the flavor just incredible. So it is almost cooked, almost time to eat. It is getting darker out in the forest, noticeably darker. So I do have my light bulb hung up top. That's going to be a nice light to illuminate the whole area. And that's basically going to be it for the evening as far as camp chores. All the wood's cut, lights ready. I've got my clothes inside so I can change out of these. I'm going to prop my pants on a stack of firewood when I do crawl in. And sometimes I like using my tripod, which is also a piece of gear that I have with me. And I'll stand it up a little taller and I'll hang my pants on it so the pant legs can dry out. Just another way of staying nice and dry and warm. So I'm going to give this another minute or two, and then it's basically going to be time to eat supper. And I do have other food with me, of course, but this is something that I like to do. Just big old steak, cook it up, eat it, enjoy it, and then cook other food later on in the evening. So we'll give this another minute or so, and then it'll be time to dig in. All right, well, I'm all finished up with that steak, and 2 thumbs up on that. That was incredible. The garlic in that steak was spot on tonight. Really, really good. Update on the temperature. It is now -6 degrees Celsius. It dropped. It just plummeted really, really quickly. As soon as it started getting dark out, the temperature just dropped. Really cold. So I should say really cold as it was today earlier. Of course, that's not terribly cold, but -6 from +1 is quite a drop. I'm just sitting here right now enjoying the heat from the stove. Very nice and warm, and all around me I've got this incredible vibe of all this light leaking out of the tent, and it's just streaking up the trees, just lighting up this whole area, giving a really cool vibe here in the forest. So it is getting dark really quickly. There are a couple things that I do need to do just before it does get dark. I want to get all this stuff outside, inside of the tent. That way if it does snow overnight, it won't be buried in snow and I'll be able to locate it very easily. I like getting all of my dishes and my coffee and all that stuff more towards the tent door, just in case any critters do crawl under. I'll hear them right up against the tent versus way over there by the vestibule. And that way they don't take my stuff and run off with it. So I like bringing everything really close to the door. That way I can monitor what's going on during the night. Other than that, I do have a little bit of hot coffee left over out of the French press. So I did heat that up. This is now totally empty and ready to go for the morning. And this is going to be an enjoyable night, I think, guys. A nice, crisp, cool air out there. Hot stove. Once these doors get shut, it'll start really starting to hold a lot of the heat. And where it is a taller tent, I can sit up in the heat channel and sit really nice and comfortably. So I'm going to finish up my coffee and then clean up some of this stuff. Drop one of these doors. I'll probably leave the lakeside door open so I have a nice view for a little while. But I think this one might get shut. Who knows? I might shut them both and I might just go inside for the night and enjoy this ambience of the stove, which is incredible right now. Super warm. Alright guys, inside of the tent for the night. I've got my change of clothes already on. So I've got my boots or my slippers, I've got my pants, new socks. Totally warm and totally comfortable. The fire is blazing also, so this is getting really nice and really warm quite quickly. So I've got my boots set on one side right now. Once I get the camera put away, I'm going to put one boot on one side and one on the other side. That way they'll get even heat and those will be totally dry come morning time. And I am looking forward to laying down and relaxing. So that's what I'm going to do, and that's going to be my entertainment. So good night guys, and I'll catch up with you first thing in the morning for some hot coffee. Good night, guys. Good morning, everybody. It is absolutely incredibly silent out here today, and I love total silence. I'm a very, very quiet individual, and if you listen right now, that is my kind of environment. I love coming out in the wintertime. Total dead silence right now. So it is a crispy morning today. It is negative 10 degrees Celsius. And I decided to come down to the lake, sit out on the ice, and enjoy some hot morning coffee, guys. This is incredible. We did get a very small dusting of snow last night, and that was it. And it was just total silent all night, all morning. Came down here, you can hear the lake ice cracking and shifting ever so slightly. But other than that, it is total silence. I love nice peace and quiet, guys. So cheers, morning coffee, and then head back up to the tent, start on breakfast. All right, guys, everything is packed away. We're right back to where we started, full pack, ready to hit the trail. So I hope you guys did enjoy this adventure. This was an awesome experience today, especially being out on the ice. I really did enjoy that. Everything packed away. The only thing left to do is hike out of here. So I'm likely going to be breaking a sweat with this hoodie. I'm probably going to take it off, strap it to the outside, and basically make my way back to the parking lot area and then head home. So thank you guys very much for watching. Peace out, and I'll see you in the next one.